back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, this is the first time of you coming across Stylish Naija YouTube channel, please, I would appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button on the side and then also hit on the bell to get an update whenever I upload a new video. So that's just like basically the essence of that bell on the side. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to actually cut and sew this extended shoulder dress. So you could see on the picture, someone actually sent it to me. I have something similar already on YouTube, so I was actually not really planning to do the illustration, but I just later changed my mind, so I decided to just illustrate it. So I'm going to be doing only the top part of the body, so you can add any down part of your choice to this. So, and I have fabric here that I'm going to be using. I will make use of Ankara fabric, but if you notice, you will see that it has a yoke, an extended yoke. So, and this, you can actually use different patterns. You can use a bustier, you can use any bustier of your choice to actually do this. So what I'm going to use is a regular and beginners and friendly bustier, which is the neck dart bustier. So I will drop the link in case you don't know how to do a bustier. I'll drop the link in the description box. You can watch the video, it's very detailed, and then you'll be able to draft this out. But there's little moderation that I actually added to this bustier because of the extended shoulder, which I'm going to explain to you. So this is the back piece, and then this is the front piece. If you notice, we have not added any neckline to this bustier. So I'm going to keep the back. Let's just work with the front first. So normally this is supposed to be my shoulder measurement for this bustier. Normally my shoulder is 7 inches, which is 14, and then you add your 1.5 inches back. So and then I'll get this. Normally this is where my shoulder is supposed to be, so I'm just going to do a rough. Normally it's supposed to be like this normally, but if you notice, you see that I started my shoulder from this point because it is extended. So you are going to measure where you want that sleeve extension to be. So if you notice, so what I did here, I added about 2 inches plus to it, and you know that I already have allowance here, so I added like an extra 2 or 3 inches. So normally if you are going to do this, what I'm just going to say to you is for you to put your tape and then just measure from this shoulder to the end to how long you want it to be. So you can actually use that, or you add 3 inches to your regular shoulder measurement, it will still work. So let's just get started. So now this is my armhole line here. So the bustier is already laid out. The next thing is for us to insert the neckline, which is very simple and easy. So for the neckline, what I'm going to do, I'll come to the armhole part. Ignore this line, I just used it as an illustration. So you come to this part, you are going to determine how deep you actually want it to be. So for this, I'm going to go with 5 inches. So I'm going to mark 5 inches here. And then I'll come to the neckline point here. For the neckline, I'm going to use 6 inches depth. You can determine, or 6.5 inches. So depends on how deep you actually want your neckline to be. So I'm going to mark this here, and then here now I'm going to work with my pattern curve. So I'm just trying to, if you notice, that's a neckline. Okay, so I'm just trying to really arrange this properly. So this is 5 inches, so this is 5.5, 6.5, sorry. So you see I'm going to place my pattern curve like this. So the thing is really not aligning properly, so I think I'm going to move my neckline down more. So I'm going to use about 7 inches for my neckline instead of the 6. It was not aligning, so I had to change it. So I'll just place my pattern curve like this. So make sure it aligns properly, and then I will do this. So you see, it is very simple and easy. So this whole part now, this part, I'm going to now cut out just this part. So this whole part, sorry, I'm not cutting out that part, so I'm so sorry. So this is the part, only this part I'll cut out. This whole part is going to be like, it's going to serve as my yoke. So I hope you understand it. I'm not cutting anything out from here, so I'm just shading it back. So sorry about that. Is this part that we're cutting off? So what we are going to do now, before we continue, so let's add the neckline for this top part. If you notice, it is a very it is a small neckline. It's not really deep, so I'm going to use 3 inches or 3.5 inches for the neckline. So the 3.5 inches is going to start on me, and then the depth of the neckline, I'm going to use about 2.5 or 3 inches. 2.5 is okay. So I'm just going to mark out my curve nicely like this. So this is the yoke. I want you to note. So this is the neckline that is going to be on the yoke. So this is the neckline that will be on the yoke. So I'm going to cut out right now. So just watch the way I'm cutting my body. So cut like this. And then we'll remove the yoke first. Okay, so that's the yoke. So you just leave the yoke, and then you take out this part that I was talking about. And then your bustier now, you can now open it up. You see how simple it is. So we have our bustier laid out here, beautiful, well looking, good. So you see the middle, this is going to look like. So you see it. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to cut out the back. So I'm just going to take this front piece yoke, I'll place it on the back yoke. The only thing that is going to be different from this the back and the front yoke is the neckline. The back neckline is going to be a little bit deeper, so I'm just going to extend that depth. You can make it deeper, you can make it higher. Okay, I think let's make it higher. Yeah, so let's come up by 1 inch for the back neckline. So the back neckline is higher, so I'll just mark this point just to help me to know. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'll just place it like this, and then I'll cut it out. So if you want the back yoke, if you want it deeper, you can actually deepen it down more, but I think I'm just going to cut them the same. Okay, so now I've cut that part out like this. So the next thing, so like what I always advise is, I always advise you, this part, don't cut it off after sewing and everything. It's always better for you to sew and see what you have, and you'll be able to trim out these parts nicely. So we'll cut out our necklines out now. This is our back neckline, and then this is our front neckline. Note, for this bustier, this part, this shoulder dart here, I'm not going to be removing it from the yoke. So I just want you to note that I'm not removing it out. So now we'll transfer to our fabric to cut out now on our fabric. Okay, so I've transferred my patterns on my fabric, so you just add all of your seam allowance to the side. So the next thing I'm going to cut out now is the yoke. So I have the back yoke and the front yoke, so I'm going to be using a tool for the yoke. If you notice, the yoke that I'm using is not really very stretchy, so I'm just going to cut on my exact measurement. But if you are using a tool that is very stretchy, you can decide to reduce the measurement, that's the width, by 1 inch, so it fits in properly. So I'm going to cut out now. I'll just add as much as 1 inch allowance. So the neckline, I'm not cutting it out yet until after I fix it. That's when I will cut it. I always like doing it that way. So the back also I'm going to cut out right now. I'll add the neckline later. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and join my piece together. So this is the back piece and then this is the front piece. So here is how I'm going to join them together. So I'm going to join the front like my regular bustier. So if you want to part this, you can actually do the parting. So I'll join them together like this first. So I'll take it over to my machine and then I'll join couple like this, and then I'm going to get the center of my yoke like this. So I will place it. I just want you to see it. It's simple. So after joining, I'll take the center. So this is the center of my center front bodies, and then I will join this like this to this part. So you see an extension here already. So I will still have the extension here on the other side. So I'll do this, and then the back piece, I'm just going to, so my yoke for the back piece, I'm going to open it up and then I'll join it. I'll just join it like this. Also the back one is really easy. So you see, once I join like this, so okay, the back is more obvious. So once you join, so you see that extension. So this part now, I'm just going to trim this part. I prefer joining first before I trim. So I'll trim this part to blend with the shoulder, but then the shoulder is already extended, so I can decide to make it straight like this. I can decide not to curve it. Depends on what you want, but I'll show you the process. So I'll just go and join and then come back. Let's undo that. Okay, so I finished uncoupling my dress. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take my yoke like this because I want it to be accurate. I'll place it like this on this part. So you know this part is where the curve is. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use my scissors to trim out. So you just place it, make sure that the yoke is on top because you know you have stitched it before. So I'll just use my scissors. So this is my extended shoulder. I'll just use my scissors like this to cut out this part. So I always prefer doing it this way, and then I'll trim it nicely to fit. And then I'll cut out my neckline like this. So you see how simple and easy it is looking. So I'll open it up now for you to see. So you see this part. So I'm going to trim. I'm still going to trim out this part just a little bit. I'll show you now. So you see that the shoulder, you see the extension of the shoulder. So you see it is extended as much as, because I added 3 inches to 17 inches. So I have about 20 inches, almost 20 inches here. So that's how you do that. The next thing, I'll do the same thing. I'll repeat it with the back yoke. So that's why you don't need to throw out the back yoke. The same thing with the back yoke. I'll place it like this. So you see it like this, and then I'll trim out. I use my paper scissors. And then blend it. Make sure it is sitting on top so you don't have any excess. And then cut out the neckline. And then trim out this part like this. So because it is a tool, I'm cutting exactly, because tools, they are stretchy. So even though mine is not very stretchy, but so you see the back. So the neckline is added to the back, the front neckline is added. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I will go and stitch them together. So I will stitch them together back to back, and then I'll join them together and then come back and show you how to attach a sleeve to this kind of dress. So this kind of extended shoulder is really simple. So you can see the shape, even though the shoulder is extended, you can see the shape of your armhole is still there perfectly well. So all you are going to do is just cut your sleeve and then you attach it to this point. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'll couple it now. Okay, so welcome back. So you see I finished stitching, I finished joining the back and the front together. So if you need if you have any adjustment that you want to make, so you check out your your shoulder measurement. So just like I explained to you, so you see I have about 19 inches now after stitching. So if your armhole, you do all of your trimmings, just make sure that everything is looking straight. And the difference between this yoke and your normal yoke is just that it is a little bit extended. So this is just where the whole secret lies, the extension of the shoulders. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to draft out our sleeve. For this, you can actually use any sleeve of your choice, but let's just do the same sleeve that we have, just like what we have on the picture. So it just is a puff sleeve. So you can actually do this sleeve in two ways. You can use the slash and spread method, or you can just freehand it. So I think we're just going to freehand it. All we're going to do is just add excess to our measurement. So that's it. So for this now, what we're going to do now, this part, because you know we're going to gather the sleeve. So this is my armhole part. I'm going to use about 12. Normally I would use 9 inches. So from this point like this, I'm just going to come down by about 4 inches. 4 inches is okay. And then from this point, from the 4 inches point, I'm just going to do this. So for this, if you are going to be freehanding, you need something like a pattern curve like this. It actually makes it easy. So you're just going to do this. So you see we already have our cuff. If you feel it's too high, but since it is a puff sleeve, it's okay. The next thing we're going to do now is the down part. So you're going to measure from this point, you're just going to measure the length of the sleeve. So for this, we're going to make use of 10 inches, and then for our elastic, you can add about 2 inches because of the casing. So at the end of the day, we're going to have about 12 inches. So I'll just take just rule it like this. And then on this part, normally at times when I'm doing this, I could just take out my sleeve like this, but because I don't want to confuse some people, so let's just measure this part. So you know this part, we actually did 12 inches. So on this part, I'm just going to come in by 1 inch, which is 11. So when I gather, it's going to have some bulkiness. So from this point like this, I'm just going to do this like this to this point like this. So you see it is very simple and easy to do this kind of sleeve. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this part I'm going to gather, and then this down part I'm going to gather. At the end of the day, it's going to be puffy like this. So I'm just going to transfer it. So at the end of the day, it's going to stay look like this. So once you gather this up like this, you gather it to fit into your armhole, just to fit into your this armhole like this, and then you gather the down part also to fit into your armhole. So you can decide this down part, you can decide to put a band if you want to put a band, or you can decide to just use an elastic. So I'll transfer this to my fabric now, and then I'll fix it to my sleeve and then hang it on the mannequin. So like I said initially, for the down part, you can do any down part of your choice. So I'm not going to be cutting the flare for this. You can do a straight, you can do whatever. So the essence of this illustration is actually the extended shoulder part. So I'll just do that and then wrap up this video right now. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you can see how beautiful our extended shoulder dress actually looks like. So you could see the shoulder. So that's just like the trick in this whole dress. So you see the shoulder is extended to this part. If you want it to get to this point, that's your yoke, you just increase the measurement just the way I did. So you see the other one also, it is looking so beautiful, well finished. And like I said, you can actually add any down of your choice to it. So you see how this one is looking so beautiful. So thank you so much. If you find this video illustration helpful, I would appreciate if you hit on the like button to make me know you appreciate what I did. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like my video, and share my videos. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you.